Well, I think that the competitive nature was all good until black people became famous for it. So when Gospel Chops came out and showed the shed, because shedding's been happening forever,
Yeah,
for years by many different cultures,
yeah,
right? Who created it? We're not gonna talk about that, but many people have partaken in the shed.
Okay.
Gospel Chops comes out, and these drummers, amazing drummers, are doing what drummers have been doing. Now, a lot of church drummers do it at church afterward, like try to pull up 2 kids and shed and what have you, whether it's after service or after rehearsal or just during the weekdays. That's where most of the black drummers had their outlet, was at the church.
Got you.
Others may have had studio rooms like this and things of that nature, or just shedding at the house, practicing with somebody else. And so, because I remember Aaron Spears talked about that on one of the Zildjian videos, saying like, oh, you know, Sput used to come to town and I had the basement. And people would come in the basement, we would just shed. If you're in town.
When drummers come to town over here and he is in town, there's a shed happening.
There's a shed, there's something.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, yo, this was in the shadows, and then Gospel Chops decided, hey, let's bring it to the light for most of us who play in church and don't have a platform to showcase our talent like that. He wanted to create that platform. Shout out to him for that. But as soon as people saw that, not all, but some, they figured out a way to go, we need to demonize this and say, oh, all they're doing is playing a bunch of blah, 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 all over the stuff. Well, you would never do that on the gig.
We call these people the conservatives of drumming.
The conservatives of drumming. And the cool part was, none of the drummers on those DVDs ever said they would do that on the gig.
Right.
Like, yo, this is a shed. This is where you get to let it all out. This is where you get to go.
This is actually the appropriate setting.
This is the appropriate setting. Like on the basketball court, the appropriate setting to go one-on-one is usually street ball. But then when you get into a structured system, there's usually plays that are ran. So it's like, no, you don't just come down and play by yourself. It's like,
well, sometimes Kobe would. We're not gonna talk about that though. Go ahead.
If your star player has the green light, that's a different.
And he did have the green light,
and that's a part of the offense system.
You're right. So it's still in there.
It's still in there. Where it's like, oh,
he wasn't Iverson in them though. Sometimes. But anyway, go ahead.
Some of the offices with Iverson, I was like, bro, no one is moving. They gave this man the ball, which is like AI.
He was like 1-on-5.
That's it.
And we went to the finals. Go ahead.
But they lost.
Yeah, they did lose
because of the triangle.
I understand.
For the most part, there is a structure, there is a system in place where it's like, hey, yes, Kobe went for 81 in one game.
Sure.
He didn't go for 100 in every game, though.
No.
There's some games that even he decided, hey, for the betterment of the team, I'm going to pass more.
Sure.
Because all the attention's on me. So he's going to have like 12 assists and only like 15 to 20 points, but we're still going to get the win.
Right.
And so the shed is like that where, hey, this is where we get the outlet, do our one-on-one thing, go crazy, so that when you're on the gig and you're required or even have the opportunity to play a drum fill, mostly like transitions going from verses to choruses to bridges, tags, outros, all of that stuff. You don't sound like trash because you've over prepared in this setting.